Girl, it's time for you to die. Yes, but the old you. Let me explain. Keep watching. Are you feeling stuck between who you are right now and who you want to be? Stay with me because I'm going to help you to bridge that gap. If you're scared to change because people might judge you or you're not sure what's coming next, I'm telling you, this video is for you. I am going to break down why letting go of your old self is the key to finally becoming the woman you were meant to be. I want to address the fear of being called out. Let's just get honest. Say you were a partier. I used to be. You always like going out, living for the weekend, you're loud, you're bold, maybe a little bit wild, and now you've become more reserved. That's what I did. And you crave peace, you prefer quiet nights. Everything is completely different than how you were before. And someone says, dang, you've changed. They act like it's a bad thing. And you feel that tiny wave of embarrassment hit you. And you wonder if being boring or lame is how people are seeing you now. But the truth is, you have full permission to grow. You don't need anybody else's approval to change your life or change who you are. You don't owe anybody the same version of yourself forever. We evolve, we mature, we reprioritize, and that's something that we need to celebrate, not hide. In order to become who you want to be, you're gonna have to let go of a few things. When I became a mom, I had to change a lot of things of myself in order to fit that new purpose in my life. Which brings me to my next point. The hard truth about change is you have to let the old you die. I know it's really intense. It sounds really crazy. It sounds, a little bit morbid, but it is. The truth is you have to let the old you die. That's when the change part is not easy. That's when it's painful because everything you know, your routines, who you are, what you do, has to stop. Sometimes we are so attached to our former selves that letting them go feels almost like grief. Let me give you an example. When I found out I was pregnant, it was a shock to me. It wasn't planned. Me and my husband did not plan on getting pregnant. But when I found out that I was getting pregnant, I was very, very sad. And I said I'm going to do a video on it sometime down the line. But part of the reason why I was so deep in my feelings is because I felt such grief. I actually liked the woman I was at that point. I was working. I was a good wife. I was having fun with my husband. I got along with everybody. I had my friends, my family. I was happy with the way that I looked. I was happy about everything. And all of a sudden, that came crashing down when I got pregnant because I had to let certain things about myself go. I was somebody who worked out all the time, kept my body a certain way. I had to grieve that because I was getting bigger and bigger and bigger by the day. So I had to let go of that thought that I was gonna have some odd, eternal, youth looking body, which is outrageous now that I think about it now. But it was going to be a death of who I used to be. I had these big dreams of travel and everything when my husband and I were getting out of debt. We were gonna go on these big vacations and do all these things together. That had to go. I had to save up for a baby. I had to prepare myself to be a mother. And that required, again, letting pieces of myself that I valued a lot go. So it felt very much like a death. I felt like I was dying. There is a loss. There is a letting go, a death of who we used to be. But you might find yourself asking, well, who am I without that? But what if people don't like the new me? What if I don't even know who I'm becoming? And that's okay. That's normal. We carry many versions of ourselves. Each one showed up for a reason. Each one helped us to survive something. So even my depressed Yasmin for 9 months, she's dead and gone, thank God. But I needed her because I needed that version of myself to grieve, to let go and become this new version that I am today. I'm very thankful for her because now I get to enjoy the fruits of all of that harshness and labor and growth, and very, very painful growth at that. So before you move on, you need to thank those past versions of yourself, even if you didn't like them, even if you thought they were crazy or, they were messed up or something. They carried you to where you're at now, and you can move forward from there. The one who pushed you through heartbreak, you gotta say thank you. The one who didn't know better but did her best, say thank you. The one who wore a mask just to make it to tomorrow deserves to be thanked. She served her purpose, but now it's time to let her rest so that you can move into this new version of yourself. There's a shift in desire when you suddenly want more. What happens when you suddenly want more for yourself? When you say, I want to be a wife, I want to be a mother, I want to be a woman of grace, I want a new career path, I want to be a woman of God. But right now, your life does not reflect that at all. Say right now, you're on dating apps, you're staying out late, emotionally unavailable, guarding yourself, maybe even treating relationships like games, or you're simply stuck in hyper independence. Listen, and I say this with love, you're not going to become that future version of you by accident. You don't just wake up one day as a whole, healed, godly woman, wife, or mother. You have to begin stepping into her now, long before you see the outcome. So what do I mean by you have to begin to step into her now, long before you see the outcome? I'm going to give you an example. Let's say you're at the age now where you want to be a wife and you want to find a godly husband and you want to build a strong marriage. Well, a lot of people think that you'll become that wifey material when the man shows up. But that is really not how it works. You have to start practicing that role. You become the woman who carries peace, who nurtures wisdom, who honors commitment. You learn how to be patient, how to forgive, how to love without keeping score, long before your man comes into the picture. You start practicing before there's a ring. It's like preparing for a role you were meant to play. You don't just wait there for the stage to get ready and walk on out. No, you rehearse in the quiet, you grow in the unseen, and that's how transformation happens. And that's why this process can feel very, very hard, because you're being refined before you see the reward. So stick with it. Reinventing yourself requires some serious sacrifice. The version of who you want to be is going to require you to release the one that you are today. That means letting go of old mindsets like, I don't need anybody, or I'll always be this way. Letting go of old habits like scrolling for validation, avoiding hard conversations, or numbing yourself with distractions. Letting go of old patterns like shrinking when you should speak or being too loud to feel seen. Growth means sacrifice. The future you won't grow in the soil of your current dysfunction. Sorry. You have to pull out the weeds, you have to make room, and that's painful but very necessary. I read this short quote or story recently and it stuck with me. It goes like this. A man asked his gardener why his plants grew so beautifully, and the gardener said, I don't force them to go, I remove what stops them. Phew! Let that sink in. We try to force growth. We try to force healing, productivity. We try to force transformation. But what if the real work isn't in forcing? What if it's removing what's blocking you? The fear, the pride, the people pleasing, the laziness, the bitterness, the old story you keep telling yourself about who you are. The plant doesn't need to try harder. Flowers didn't need to try harder at all. It needed space. It needed light. It needed the things that were suffocating it to be removed. You grow by subtraction, not always addition. So what does that look like in real life? It might mean letting go of people who keep you rooted in your past, breaking routines that don't serve your future, releasing environments that normalize dysfunction and chaos, saying no to things that feel comfortable but keep you stagnant. You might have to leave that group of friends. You might need to change your morning routine. You might need to delete the dang apps. You might have to stop the scrolling. Everything cannot come with you. Some things have to fall off in order for you to rise. So if you feel the pull to change, don't run from it, lean in. I'm a firm believer that God opens windows of favor for everybody. There are seasons where he's like, okay, I'm gonna help you, I'm gonna push you. This is your time to shine, so don't miss out on it. You're not broken, you're not fake, you're not doing too much, you're evolving. And not everyone is gonna understand that. And you know what? That's totally okay. God is doing something new in you, and pruning isn't punishment, it is preparation. So if you like this video, think about subscribing. I don't know, if you wanna. And leave a comment because I'd love to hear your growth process or where you're at in your life. I love you, praying for you, thinking about you. I hope you enjoyed this video. Bye.